There is a country to cross you will find in the corner of your eye, in the quick slip of your foot, air far down, a snap that might have caught. And maybe for you, for me, a high passing voice that finds its way by being afraid. That country is there for us, carried as it is crossed. What you fear will not go away. It will take you into yourself and bless you and keep you. That's the world, and we all live there. Taking a relaxed position, whether you're on a cushion or sitting down, your hands facing up, and just relaxing your shoulders. Feeling that ease just overtaking your body. Straightening the neck just by a millimeter. Straightening the back. Maybe arching out the chin slightly. And then softening the muscles of the face around the eyes and in the cheekbones and in the jaw. I've been thinking a lot about the vagus nerve and the way that it connects the gut to the brain. Passing signals back and forth and physical manifestations. So as we relax that conduit between the heart and the head, we're also relaxing that conversation between the gut and the brain. Turning each of our rooms into a cathedral. And then softening the shoulders again. Straightening the back slightly again and the neck. And then breathing in to 4 counts. Pausing for a moment and breathing out to 5. And for those of you who've been with us for a long time, you know that sometimes I'll adapt from Thich Nhat Hanh, a breathing in, breathing out chant. You could say, breathing in, I know this world is an illusion. Breathing out, I choose this world to relieve the suffering of others. Breathing in, I know this world is an illusion. Breathing out, I choose this world to help relieve the suffering of others. Let's do that for 3 breaths. Tarbrock talks about what's real but not true. Sometimes we get these messages from our gut that are fear reactions, and they feel absolutely real, but they're not true. And this carrying from the world is an illusion to I choose this world connects to that realization. It's not real, but it hurts. Other people are hurting. I choose to stay here to help them. Now we're really in it. We're feeling that kshanti, that spaciousness, that infinite patience and forbearance, the allowing that's almost everything. For my young friends who are afraid, there is a country to cross you will find in the corner of your eye, in the quick slip of your foot, air far down, a snap that might have caught. And maybe for you, for me, a high passing voice that finds its way by being afraid. That country is there for us carried as it is crossed. What you fear will not go away. It will take you into yourself and bless you and keep you. That's the world, and we all live there. It's a very layered poem for something so short, and a difficult poem. Difficult because it bends towards a universal language. Really, one of the only specific things Stafford says in the poem is that it's for his young friends, which I take to mean his students, say, in the 1970s. and in the 1960s. It's a poem about how to not only befriend our fears, to have a détente with our fears, but actually how to run toward them and to take care of them like they were our baby. I look at this poem and I see all of Dante's journey in it. It goes from hell to purgatory to the blessedness of paradise. It involves a passing through a country of sorts. It's like a journey through hell. I look at the third line of the poem and I feel like maybe some slip, some moment where the fear suddenly takes over. Air far down, a snap that might have caught. And for the speaker, for Stafford, a voice that finds its way by being afraid. We're already halfway through the poem, and really all he's done is get us to this word, afraid. And the voice finds its way by being afraid. It doesn't find its way despite being afraid, which is the power of this poem, which is what makes it different. It is a poem that is written in commiseration with young students who are experiencing in the 1970s and 60s, say, the same kinds of fears that we're talking about today: nuclear proliferation, mass extinction and displacement of animal species, structural racism, inequality. For them, the war in Vietnam, and in the 1970s, the death squads in El Salvador. And for us, Ukraine, Palestine, Afghanistan, Iran. We have a few more to add to the list, like melting ice, which was the subject of my last book, and AI, and the rise of fascism, and the threat of democracy, and the siloing of our individual lives as the communities fragment and disappear. There's a lot to be afraid about. But in this poem, we're talking about what the Buddha did when, looking at his fears, really charging toward them, he was able to turn them into flowers. It's the culmination of the 3 poems that I wanted to begin this semester with, which are about the aggregate of emotion, where Keats is talking about when I have fears that I may cease to be, and Arthur Z is looking at the world, looking at his anger and turning it into aspen leaves. And here William Stafford is transforming his fear by embracing it. But it's in direct lineage with Keats's poem. There's a problem. What do we do when we're afraid? And then there's the evidence. Well, there's a country to cross, and there's a voice that finds its way by being afraid. The being afraid actually serves the individual in this poem. And that country, really significantly, I think, is carried as it is crossed. So it's something that we carry like a child, that we take responsibility for, that we are here to nurture, not just make peace with, but actually nurture and care for, even as it's crossed. So it's a country that we cross through. It's not a country in which we stay. So it all leads to these beautiful, disarming lines at the end. What you fear will not go away. It will take you into yourself and bless you and keep you. And as I get older, looking back on all the things that made me afraid when I was younger, all the fears that I carried and crossed through as a younger man, I realized that there are places in my awareness now that I wouldn't have arrived at if it weren't for those fears. At the time, they just seemed like devils coming at me with arrows and swords. but actually they were the they were the ones who were leading me where I didn't yet know I needed to go. And Stafford's right; those fears do not go away. But the blessedness is that they transform into these things that I'm calling flowers. This is Dante, going down into hell willingly. He has to say yes to Virgil and step down into hell. He's charging into that place of fearfulness too. It was also used by an Italian psychologist named Roberto Assagioli, who took the Divine Comedy and used it as a metaphor for the ways that we pass through entering fear, passing through, singing as we climb in purgatory, and then that place of blessedness, paradiso, where we can let them go, where we get to the other side of that country. You might also know the work of Victor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. He talks about paradoxical intention. This poem is an example of paradoxical intention, where we turn around and we look at our fears and we say to ourselves in the mirror, oh, you're afraid, aren't you? Okay, be afraid. Look at me and be afraid. It's this rush towards the fears that helps dissolve them, because we see that they're real but not true, that they feel so real, but they're not true. Finally, here's what Parker Palmer says in A Hidden Wholeness. I love that book so much. Highly recommend it. He says, as we move toward reclaiming our birthright gift of wholeness, it's important to remember that wholeness means embracing brokenness as an integral part of life, acknowledging our shadow as well as our light. As Florida Scott Maxwell said, you need only claim the events of your life to make yourself yours. Here's the poem again. For my young friends who are afraid, there's a country to cross you will find in the corner of your eye, in the quick slip of your foot, air far down, a snap that might have caught. And maybe for you, for me, a high passing voice that finds its way by being afraid. That country is there for us, carried as it is crossed. What you fear will not go away. It will take you into yourself and bless you and keep you. That's the world, and we all live there. So going back in to the meditation, I want to do a brief rain practice around this idea of carrying our fears like a baby and crossing through our fears like a country. Sitting back in that relaxed position, maybe closing your eyes if that's comfortable, straightening your back again. Softening the muscles of your face. The R of the RAIN acronym is recognize. What are you feeling? Are there fears? Have you hidden them somewhere in the house. Can you go to those places? Can you not only look at them, but embrace them? Make yourself yours. Once you know what it is that you're feeling, where do those fears reside? What would you call them? And rather than hiding them in a dark, compressed state, to just open it all up. That's the allow. That's A for allow. That's Kshanti. Salt in a glass of water makes everything salty. Salt in a freshwater lake just disappears completely. It's like it's not even there. Can we make a huge space for those fears? Bring them into a cathedral. Bring them into a temple or a valley or a mountain where you experience the sublime once. The I for investigate goes to the root source of those fears. Where did they come from? A little project of psychotherapy. The talking cure is connected to I for investigate. Last week, I talked about being relegated to a seat in the back of the classroom. And for the rest of the week, I felt this release from that fear of being set aside or displaced. Just talking about it with you all made me feel better. The other thing you might ask is, where is this fear in my body? Where have I compressed it? In my gut or in my heart, in my neck, my shoulders? In my sleeplessness? We go to it there. And then the last is nurture, N. R-A-I-N. The nurturing we say with Thich Nhat Hanh, dear one, I'm here for you. It's not even having tea with your fear, not even befriending, but making your fear your ward. Becoming the guardian of your fear. All this involves a certain non-attachment. Stepping back from this emotion and looking at it with that powerful gaze of objectivity, knowing that what's there on the screen is not really the eternal watcher. Nisargadatta says, the only thing that's real is that which can't be lost. That offers me so much strength. I think that's what William Stafford means when he says that it will take you into yourself, your big self, and bless you and keep you. For my young friends who are afraid, there's a country to cross you will find in the corner of your eye, in the quick slip of your foot, air far down, a snap that might have caught. And maybe for you, for me, a high passing voice that finds its way by being afraid. That country is there for us, carried as it is crossed. What you fear will not go away. It will take you into yourself and bless you and keep you. That's the world, and we all live there. Thank you, everyone.